Welcome to Android Video Lesson Shorts Edition. My name is Sebastian Colbert, and in this lesson I will introduce you to layouts. A layout defines the visual structure for a user interface, such as the UI for an activity or app widget. It is what makes the user interaction on the screen possible. All user interface elements in an Android app are built using view and view group objects. A view is an object that draws something on the screen that the user can interact with, for example, buttons or text fields. View group is an invisible container that holds and organizes child views. View groups can be nested to create a simple or complex hierarchy tree, but simple layouts provide best performance. You can declare a layout in two ways: declare UI elements in XML, or instantiate layout elements at runtime or programmatically. The advantage of declaring a UI in XML is that it enables you to better separate the presentation layer of your application from the code that controls its behavior. Here is an example of an XML layout. When you compile your application, each XML layout file is compiled into a view resource. You should load the layout resource from your application code in your activity onCreate callback implementation. Do so by calling setContentView and passing it the reference to your layout reference in the form of r.layout.layout file name, which represents the layout name of your file. ID attribute is common to all view objects. Basically, they are inherited from the root view class. The purpose of the ID attribute is to uniquely identify the view within the tree. The @ symbol at the beginning of the string indicates that the XML parser should identify it as an ID resource. The + symbol means that this is a new resource that must be created and added to our resources in the r.java file. Once the resource ID is defined, you do not need the + symbol. With the Android package namespace in place, you are referencing an ID from the Android resource class instead of the ones you created. A common pattern is to define a view and then reference it. First, define a view in the layout file and assign it a unique ID. Then, create an instance of the view object and capture it from the layout. One last word on IDs. An ID need not be unique throughout the entire app, but it should be unique within the full layout tree. All layouts provide attributes called layout parameters. These attributes describe layout placements of the view objects as defined by the object's parent view group. Note that every layout parameters subclass has its own syntax for setting values. Each child element must define layout parameters that are appropriate for its parent. All view groups include a width and a height called layout width and layout height, and each view is required to define them. Each subclass of the view group class provides a unique way to display the view you nest with it. Here are some of the more common layout types. Linear layout organizes its children into a single horizontal or vertical row. Relative layout enables you to specify the location of a child objects relative to each other or to the parent. Web view displays web pages. When the content of your layout is dynamic or not predetermined, you can use layout the subclass's adapter view to populate the layout with views at runtime. Common layout backed by an adapter include a list view, displays a scrolling single column list, or a grid view, displays a scrolling grid of columns and rows. That is all for this lesson. Visit androidvideolessons.com/shorts to get access to source code for this and other lessons. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I wish you happy coding.